Welcome back to that game. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to reviewing this one. But if I am going to continue the tradition of reviewing every single Leisure Suit Larry game, I'm going to have to even do the bad ones. Okay, stop reminding me! Okay, in order for me to get through this review of Leisure Suit Larry 2, I've decided to ask the aid of stand-up comedian John Robertson.
No, you just looked like someone who needed an adult.
Oh, John, what good times we've had.
You are a strange little man.
That's what my mother tells me.
She's right. But enough of this. Let's get this clusterfuck on the road.
So as we boot up Leisure Suit Larry 2, we're greeted with a more bolder theme song.
Meanwhile, Larry begins to look for women in at least 3 wrong places. Also, did you know that there's a law that means that if your name's Larry, every place you look for a woman is a wrong place? Seriously, change it. But then I don't know what's stupider, the woman hunting abilities of this greasy little turd, or the opening credits for his creator, Al Lowe, who, if he was British, no doubt would have spent a great deal of time remarking on how funny that name is. What's your name? Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Hello, what? I do believe he's just fucked up wordplay.
Now, before we continue, if you haven't finished Leisure Suit Larry 1, we're going to be spoiling a lot of the plot in this review, because the story continues over into Leisure Suit Larry 2.
What we're trying to say is don't get upset because we're about to spoil the ending of a porno, because you should know how a porno ends. It's like the end of the Titanic, but once the ship goes down, everyone lights a cigarette and discusses why they never quite managed to get that doctorate.
So we find Larry mowing the lawn of his new home, when Eve, our girl from the end of the last game, shows up.
Could it be for sex?
But then she proceeds to say that we didn't actually ask to date her, and she finds it creepy we moved our stuff in. Eve tells us we got 5 minutes to get our shit and get out. Not before a dog takes a leak on us.
Because nothing says loser like heartbreak and dog piss.
Anyway, wait, where? Oh, okay, we find ourselves at Notoonee Island? Kinda throwing us a left field here, game. But hell, if there's some tropical babes, I'm down.
But wouldn't you know it, there's some sinister shit going down on the island, and the name of the culprit is... Dr. No. Nookie. Dr. No Nookie.
See, that's the problem with Leisure Suit Larry 2. The censorship. Leisure Suit Larry 1, absolutely uncensored. But then Sierra turned around to the team and said, hey, you want to sell this in the store? You want the mom and pop stores to put this on the front shelf? You're gonna have to censor the game. And by doing so, we get this story here. We get this no nookie thing.
The trouble was, this made the game. Well, less dirty in a way. There is still some crude humor, but things like showing the ladies are reduced to porthole picture frames.
Look, this might sound weird given that the game we're reviewing is pretty much Lonely Saturday Night Simulator 2, The Return of Your Virginity, but it's not even a technically well-made game. I hate that. I hate the idea of being the guy who says, oh, stop the porno, there's no art. But seriously, the first Leisure Suit Larry game had multiple branching paths. This game just has one piece of linear progression. It's pretty much like saying this. Have you tried bisexuality? Pfft, no more, you pick one. In fact, we pick it for you. Get going. Plus, some of the areas are now like quick-time dungeon mazes. Nobody wants that. And no one in a dungeon wants a quick time. Am I right, fellas? Hey!
Oh my god. I should have seen it before. They literally took the engine, the design of King's Quest, took King's Quest out, and then put Leisure Suit Larry back in. Larry's the next King of Daventry!
If you ever went to homestarrunner.com, you'll recognise this reference. This game is pretty much fuck ye Flask. You can't fuck ye Flask.
The point system is still here, rewarding you with score every time you trigger the right event, or move forward with progress. But now we actually get a rank?
Because nothing boosts my self-esteem like Leisure Suit Larry giving me a fun nickname.
So, stumbling around the town, you find yourself on a blind date show. Oh, Larry, will you ever learn? The contestant for today is Barbara Bimbo, of Airhead, California. Excuse me, Barbara's chewing gum! Well, to cut things short, we somehow, by mistake, win the dating game, thus securing a cruise with a mentally challenged Barb. And not long after that, we actually get dragged into another studio to film Lucky Life, in which we win $1 million each year for the rest of our lives?
This pushes our rank all the way up to the lofty heights of nerd. Finally! Nerd! Break out the Firefly DVDs! And the last time someone called a multi-millionaire a nerd, Bill Gates released Windows 95.
So far, I'm finding this game to be a bit of a chore. I mean, I know they're handing out a lot of gifts early on in the game. I'm not saying winning the girl and the money is a chore, but man, so far not much has happened. Fuck it, let's go get a haircut. Excuse me! Who is that? That is meant to be Larry? I don't think so. Just look at this. It looks more like Joe Pesci's long-lost brother.
You only exist out here because of me. That's the only reason. Without me, you, personally, every fucking wise guy still around, will take a piece of your fucking Jew ass. Then where you gonna go?
So to connect us to the happenings on No Nookie Island, we received some microfilm we need to deliver to him at some point in the game.
This isn't important to me. I don't care. This game's hurting me. This game's hurting. I want out already!
And so we board the cruise and... we get a close-up shot of what's apparently on Larry's mind right now, which appears to be a girl's head made of clay.
Wait, who's this? Oh, so Barb didn't make it to a trip, but her mother decided to instead? I love how Larry is paused in a walking motion, like he knows he's in a bad position and he's willing to back out at any moment. I gotta go, my water has to catch a tap.
Oh, come on, Larry. Let's try and enjoy the cruise. Why don't we all have a quick dip in the pool? But remember to put on some sunscreen first, because you don't deserve skin cancer, Larry. The programmers do.
Ho ho ho! Finally, Larry's gonna get with a bombshell! Iceberg, dead ahead! This scene doesn't go anywhere.
Oh dear. Apparently you have to remind Larry to swim, because he's deleted everything from his mind but sex. You know that happened to the star of Hogan's Heroes? Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
Fuck it. We need to mix a few things up around here. And in doing this, we steal a lifeboat. Somehow. It happens.
Seriously, who is that? It looks like George Clooney and Matt Damon had a kid together.
And now we're on the set of Gilligan's Island. Look, I don't want to slow down the review process, but is this still a Leisure Suit Larry game?
I got no idea. It's so odd the amount of differences there are in this game compared to the first. This game went from pimp to pitfall. And why is there a hairdresser on every corner of the planet? Does this shit look like GTA? If this was Monkey Island, I actually wouldn't be questioning this.
Oh, Jesus Christ! John, how long is it before we get to some action in this game?
There's at least 1 hour, if you want to call it action.
What the hell do you mean?
Action? I mean, are you 12? You don't really get action till the end.
Let me guess, we end up with some Hawaiian girl on the beach? Are you fucking kidding me? This game is ridiculous.
Look, I know Sierra and Al had a big hurdle to get around with the censorship board, but Christ, this game is the worst of the lot. I don't think we'll ever find a Larry game as bad as this one.
Oh, what about Box Office Bust and Magna Cum Laude, huh?
Okay, John, those aren't Larry games. That's what happens when you try to sell the Larry franchise to someone who has no idea what they're doing. Those aren't Larry games. This, on the other hand, is a Larry game. And I don't like it.
It is a great leap in graphics. Maybe a leap too far. Then the story takes a Castaway approach and throws away all the feel of the original. Look, I know they wanted to make a new approach and take Larry out into the big world, but to me this was a stretch. A big stretch. Such a change from the original. It's like James Bond meets Johnny Bravo. What happened to Larry? And don't get me started on the girls. There's barely any action at all. This is what the Larry games are founded on. That's like taking the Mc out of McNuggets at McDonald's. You just don't mess with the formula.
This game is deceiving. Even more so, disappointing. I actually want to go back to Leisure Suit Larry 1 just so I can get that feeling back.
Well, that was an experience, wasn't it, my young friend?
It was, John. I wish it could have been a better Larry game, but to be honest, no one knows this game like you do.
Mate, it was fun hanging out with you. I'm not going to say the game was fun. It was like playing Skyrim if everything was set to terrible and not Skyrim at all, and in fact just being a lonely virgin loser going out making a complete fucking nuisance of himself. But you're grand. Hey, smile at women occasionally, but not with the sunglasses on, because you're creepy when you smile. See ya.
Well, I'm Shades, and that was comedian John Robertson. If you want to see more of his top 5s and top 10s on gaming, click this link up here. We're in Leisure Suit Larry month. We've only got one more video to go. Good night!
That's right, I literally just ducked below my own camera. And that means I'm gone. Here we go.